Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be analysing Tom Holland's diet to get in shape for Spider-Man. He's one of the biggest up and coming celebrities. He's developed a bit of an insane physique secretly, just gone from being a little boy to suddenly quite jacked, ripped, looking really good. So we're going to analyse his diet as a personal trainer, see what we like, see what we don't like, see if there's anything he's missing, and we're also going to tell you if I think he's natural or unnatural. So without further ado, let's get fucking into it, mate.
So right now I am actively trying to put on as much weight as possible. So for me a cheat meal is actually a really good thing. So I have cheat meals all the time, to the point where I can't even call them cheat meals, they're just really meals. Hey, what's up guys, I'm Tom Holland and today I will be...
I assume they're going to come back to that later, but we'll touch on that now. The fact that he doesn't really have cheat meals, he just sort of eats whatever he wants and tries to put on size, is true for someone of his body type. They call it an ectomorph, right? I think that stuff's kind of been disproven, but he's got quite a narrow frame. This is what I looked like growing up, to the point where I could eat whatever I wanted and I was constantly skinny. He has that kind of frame, so when he says he eats a lot of cheat meals, I do believe him.
Talking about my diet and how it informs my training.
The physique he has, I think, is very aspirational for a lot of people. He's not super big, but he's quite lean, he looks chiseled. He's got a nice, healthy looking physique.
My philosophy behind my diet is that my diet is far more important than what I do in the gym. I would say for me...
That right there is how I want you to think about diet, okay? So many people see diet as like a secondary to training. The truth of the matter is, if your diet is shit, you can train all day long. You won't get results. The diet underpins everything else. Other end of the spectrum, you can not train at all, but if you have a good diet, you're gonna be in pretty good shape. So he's spot on here.
Results, it's 80% diet and 20% fitness. I try.
That's the percentage split I tell people. 80% diet, 20% fitness, although I say working out, but same.
My girlfriend's a vegetarian, which is really helpful because it means that more often than not, I'll be having a veggie meal. But yeah, I'm mindful about what I eat, especially this past year. My brother and I, we live together and work together, and we famously have had the worst diets ever, especially when we're working. So we've both taken an active decision to really try and make a difference in our...
See, that's another interesting point, right? By surrounding yourself with people, you tend to adopt their eating habits. So if you surround yourself with people who are overweight, they eat bad food, you're gonna do the same thing. He says he eats with his brother, they eat bad together. Alternatively, when he eats with his girlfriend, he tends to eat more veggie meals. I think if I was with Zendaya, I would also eat more veggie meals too.
In our diet, or a calorific intake. Typically for breakfast, I will have a bowl of porridge with a bunch of fruit and nuts, accompanied with a shake.
What is with, okay, so I'm British, right? What is the difference between oats and porridge? Can someone tell me? I've grown up, I'm British. The British side of my family will always call oats porridge. Everyone else I talk to just calls it oats. Can anyone tell me the difference?
The reason I do that is I like to get up early and I like to get the day started. And if I have to cook something, I feel like it really slows down the day. The berries give me a bunch of fiber, the nuts give me the fats that I need, and that I feel like sets me up for a great day. The carbs from the oats give me that nice long-lasting energy. So that'll be that. Lunch, typically...
Okay, a very solid first meal of the day. Nice carb sources, some healthy fats. What I would like to see more of is some protein. I know he has a smoothie there. I'm not quite sure if he said he had protein with that or not. The thing that people lack in their breakfast is always a protein source, and that's very easily fixable if you're having something like porridge. Add a scoop of protein, add 2 scoops of protein. You're gonna tick your protein requirements for the morning. Easy as that.
If I am not bulking, I'll skip lunch. I very, very rarely will eat lunch. And then for dinner, I'm so lucky, my brother Sam is a really talented chef, so he's been building all of these amazing recipes. So really every night I'm going over to my brother Sam's house and eating whatever it is that he's been cooking, which can range from sticky bao buns to a traditional roast dinner to, you know, a chicken Veronique. So it's very, very fun stuff. So that's what I've been doing.
Interesting, so he skips lunch most of the time. I think for busy people, you can often relate to this. You don't quite have time to sit down for lunch. So I understand that. And then he goes and kind of eats whatever he wants for dinner. But the thing you'll notice about that is all the examples he gave were very high protein, right? He's trying to put on size, he's trying to put on muscle, so he's keeping his protein intake nice and high. If I were his trainer or his nutritionist, I would raise it a lot more. He's probably got about between 50 and 100 grams of protein a day currently, which is not really enough to build muscle, but overall, very healthy diet. I would also add in a lunch if possible.
Recently, I'm very lucky that my default setting of my body is that if I don't train and eat, I lose weight. I have to really consciously think about maintaining size. So for me,
completely, this is a side note, but I think it's very interesting that probably we've been 2 minutes into the interview and Tom Holland's already said that he's very lucky about 5 or 6 times. Very interesting mindset he has. I like that mindset a lot. He's very grateful for a lot of things, clearly. The way his body works, his brother being a cook. Very interesting. I like that quality in people.
I take supplements depending on my fitness goals. So right now I'm on a pretty steady flow of creatine and protein. I also take a protein shake in the morning, which is filled with all the minerals and vitamins that you need to be living a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, that's kind of about it right now.
Okay, nice. The similar thing as I would recommend to most people. Protein helps with muscle synthesis, right? You need protein for your muscles to grow. And so I was right, he does include that in a smoothie in the morning, so that ticks that box. Creatine, the most researched and proven supplement. If you want muscle size, better muscles, take creatine, 5 to 10 grams a day.
I did a film called Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg, and something that came out of that movie is we came to work together. The movie shut down because of COVID, and in that interim period where we had 4 months off, I noticed how much bigger Mark was than myself. So in that 4 months, I just pedal to the metal, went as crazy as I could in the gym and in the kitchen. And
Mark Wahlberg being bigger than Tom Holland is quite unsurprising. If you look at Mark Wahlberg's physique, look at his age, a few little factors that don't quite add up with Mark Wahlberg, but we'll make another video about that.
got to the heaviest I've ever been, which isn't that heavy, to be honest. Like, by my standards, it is. And it was really cool. I felt really strong. I felt like I had a lot of power within me. So that was a drastic change. Spider-Man 3, Jack, who's a mate of mine, and Duffy, who is our trainer, we just really got into CrossFit. I'd never done it before. And I just really loved the kind of competitive edge of it, setting goals, trying to beat your personal best. I really enjoyed that, and we got very fit for that job.
You touched on another important point there, the importance of setting goals and having an exciting reason to do something. When people first start out at the gym, for me, the valued goal was increasing my bench press. Having a valued goal, even if it's arbitrary, even if it doesn't really matter, having something to work towards. And with CrossFit, it's very PR based, right? There's what are they called, WODs, workouts of the day, and there's like PRs of certain exercises. It keeps you going, keeps you motivated. It's that competitiveness and that motivation that's gonna keep people going back and keep people going back long enough to get results. So I can see why his trainer directs him towards something like CrossFit, especially when he wants to develop the kind of physique that Spider-Man would have. Because Spider-Man's not gonna have a big bulky bodybuilder physique, right? He's flying around between buildings. He's just gonna be flexible, nimble. I think Spider-Man's also supposed to be ultra strong, but he's supposed to have that kind of wiry, spider-like strength. So CrossFit makes a lot of sense for that.
So that was a big lifestyle change as well. The hardest thing I've done in terms of dieting for a role is somewhat a contradiction to what I've been saying throughout this interview, but I cut as much weight as I could for a film called Cherry. Incredibly proud of that movie. It's one of my favorite and best experiences I've ever had as an actor. I was trying to keep below 500 calories a day.
God.
I was working out like a crazy person. I was dropping weight really quickly. I then did it again for a TV show called The Crowded Room, and I've kind of vowed to myself now that I'll never do that again, just because it's not worth it.
Dropping below 500 calories a day is very extreme and also not necessary. That is borderline starvation. So if you are eating less than 500 calories a day, every day for any more than about a couple of days, you're gonna get into serious starvation territory, right? And when you're as small as Tom Holland, that becomes very dangerous because he's not got much body fat. If you're enormous, you've got a whole lot of excess body fat, your body can consume that fat to sustain itself. But if you're lean already and you reduce your calories by such a large degree, that's very dangerous. That can lead to something really bad happening. I'm surprised and kind of shocked that his trainers and nutritionists allowed him to do this, even for a short period of time. I think possibly he's misremembered. Looking at his physique that he's just popped up there, he doesn't look like he's on 500 calories a day. Like, he kind of looks the same as he does now. So I think maybe they're exaggerating about that, because 500 calories a day is like one meal. My breakfast has 800 calories. You know, like it's nothing.
And it can actually promote quite considerable health concerns down the line, so I wouldn't do that again. What I'm trying to do right now is I do a chili but with lentils rather than a mince. It's very flavorful, it's really tasty, it's healthy, and it's ultimately full of all the things that I need to put some weight on. So that
question for you: would you go vegetarian if it meant Zendaya was your girlfriend? Seriously think about that. Some of you say no. Come on.
Wouldn't consider it a date night. It was a regular night in the household, but it was a nice chili. We sat down. I'm currently watching Grey's Anatomy, and we watched about 7 episodes of Grey's Anatomy and ate chili.
Okay, nice. Now he's just talking about chili. Overall, pretty good video. I think a lot of people aspire to look like Tom Holland. He's not too big, as everyone that doesn't work out is worried they're gonna get. All in all, he has a very healthy, sustainable diet, ignoring that 500 calories total a day he was in for that movie role, which even he admits was quite dangerous. When you set your life up in such a way that the amount of calories you're eating is around your maintenance level, you can sort of eat whatever you want. He eats breakfast, doesn't really have lunch, has a nice dinner. Pretty ideal diet for a lot of people. The only thing I will say about that is if you don't have his body type, or you want to actually achieve more noticeable results at the gym, if you're going for more of a bodybuilder look, sculpting your physique, you want to build more muscle, you're going to need more protein and probably more calories. That's the only advice I would give to him. I know he said he's trying to bulk up, but he mustn't have a nutritionist, because to bulk up a physique like that is actually relatively straightforward. It's what I did. You just eat a lot more of the healthy foods and you pack on lean size. All in all, I give this video of Tom Holland an 8 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised. He's very honest and open, and he has quite a realistic, achievable life in terms of food. If you got some value from this and you enjoy me breaking down celebrity diets like this, stay tuned, I've got a lot more coming. Hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.